Alright, hello everyone. Today I want to walk you through what I did to replace the this thing right here. That's the cooling fan for the rad. I'd been getting the intermittent coolant visit workshop, and with my star computer I narrowed it down to a faulty control module on the fan. So the one in here is actually the new one, but I just want to show you what I did to get it out and replace the old one. So the old one is over here. So this is the fan control module that stopped working, or was working only intermittently, so I'd get the light as a result. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is in terms of difficulty of the job, this is probably a 3 or 4. It's very easy. Just a couple of tricks that'll really make it a lot easier for you when you're doing it yourself. So the thing to remember is it's attached to the radiator only on 2 points. There's a bolt that's going to go through here and one through here, and then on the bottom you can see these little protrusions here, one on either side. There's a little hook that's attached to the rad at the bottom, and these two things will rest right on top of that thing, and then you'll attach it on the top here. So we're looking at the back of the fan here. So you're going to drop it in just like this. So this part here will be against the radiator, and the front of the fan will be on the other side towards the engine. So the first thing to do, so this is an SL600, it's the V12. So I don't know how relevant it's going to be for other motors, but just in case, the steps are probably very similar. So you need to remove these covers over the headlamps on both sides, one on this side, and then once you do that, you need to take up the gasket here and just pull that up. Comes up pretty easily, right? And you need to do that in order to get at these 3 nuts here on that side, and on this side same thing, 1, 2, 3. You need to do that to get this cross member out, right? So as soon as you take those 6 nuts off, that thing should pop right out. Before you do that, there's 3 fasteners, 1, 2, 3, that you need to pull out, and that'll release this little plastic covering. It won't come right out, but it'll give you enough leeway to get the cross member out once you've undone all those nuts, 3 on either side. Alright, so once that's done, these things got to come out. These are the air intakes. Very easy to do. On each side you just pull back. You see the flex here, so you just pull back and then up, and they will come right out. They're attached down here. There's no clamp or anything, they just slide right in and out there, so on both sides. Very easy to do. So this is, I think, where the tricky part happens. So once those things are out, like I said, there's only two bolts. You see one right there, and then the other one is just right in there. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but it's there. And once you take those bolts off, this whole thing here will be very, very loose, because again, remember at the bottom it's just sitting on a couple of feet, couple of supports, right? So before you start that though, what I suggest is you're going to have to remove this hose right here. So you just undo the clamp and the hose will pull right off, but be careful because there's going to be coolant in there, and so when you pull it off, the coolant is liable to fall down in here and right into that electrical connector where the new fan's going to plug in. So what you may want to do is just throw something in here, like an old sheet or a towel or something, so that when you pull this off, when you pull that hose out, whatever leaks will leak onto that thing and won't hit any electrical connections down below. Okay, so now you're ready to take out those 2 bolts. So you've disconnected this thing, you've taken these things off, and now you're ready to undo the bolts. Again, this cross member will be gone too. So you do the first one, second one, and now this thing's just going to be just sitting on those things, so it's going to be flopping back and forth. So in order to get it out though, what you're going to have to do is, you've already undone this one, so that's good, because you're going to have to pull it up through there. The other thing you're going to have to do is, you see that that silver line there? I don't know if you can see that, but where are we here? There it is. So it's attached to the radiator. That is the transmission fluid. It goes into the radiator for cooling. What you're going to have to do is, right at the rad, which is, and you'll see that if you follow that line, if you follow that transmission cooling line, there it is. There you can just see the end of it there. It's attached to the radiator. So it's just a simple coupling. Now remember, you've already undone the bolts on this, and you have to do that first in order to loosen that coupling that connects that transmission line to the radiator right there. Right? So this thing will give you enough space in here to get your arm in here to get at that coupling. Now when you get that thing off, you gotta hang on to it, because the thing that it's attached to at the other end, on the bottom end, is a flexible hose. So if you just detach it and let it go, it's going to fall down and you're going to get some fluid leaking out of there, which you don't want. So try and grab it, hold it upright, and then you can rest it up against something in here while you're going to pull up the fan shroud. Alright, so once that cooling line is out of the way, once that transmission line is out of the way, you're free and clear. This thing is just going to come right up and right out. And that's pretty much it. I would install it in the reverse order, so when you put the new one in, before you bolt it on this side and this side, you got to reattach that transmission line that goes into the radiator. And once you do that, you can attach both sides and then just plug it back in, and you can see where it plugs in right there. That's the plug, that's the connector right there. So that's simple to get out. It's just it's got releases on both sides, so you squeeze in and pull up at the same time, and it'll come right out. But remember what I was saying before about detaching this thing right here, because when you pull that out, all that coolant's going to fall into this area here, and what you don't want it to do is to fall and get that connector wet and get coolant in there. And that's about it. It's pretty straightforward. One of the easiest things I've ever done, actually. Shouldn't take you more than a half hour. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Just leave them in the comment area and I'll see if I can help you out. Thanks.